Hey everyone, now I wish this story was simple, but it's really not, so let's just start at the beginning. First things first, you may have already read over on many different websites that the Tekken character Roger Jr. will be removed from Western versions due to complaints from animal activists. There's so much wrong with the majority of these articles though, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like many are even bothering to update them either. However, hopefully this video will clear things up, and to do that we need to begin by looking at the original interview that started all of this. The news first appeared over on the site VG247 alongside a bunch of other new details about the game. So just quote VG247 word for word here so you can better understand what's caused all of this confusion. Meanwhile, Roger Jr., the boxing kangaroo, has sadly been cut. There was a video of a man's dog being headlocked by a kangaroo and he punched it in the face, Harada says. It turned into a big problem, people were complaining about him punching a kangaroo, and it seems that in the last few years there's been a lot more animal activists. Even though they probably wouldn't play our game, they would still hear about that, about a kangaroo in our game being punched, and would complain about it. Kuma the bear is still in the game though, because a bear is obviously stronger than a human being. So the site says that the boxing kangaroo Roger Jr. has not only been cut from the game, but that this was due to animal activists. However, notice that the producer doesn't say anywhere that they have been cut from just the Western versions. Despite what other sites have been reporting, there is absolutely no evidence that Roger Jr. will be in the Japanese version, but not the English. And considering this is the original article that all of the sites are using as a source, it's hard to see where this confusion has come from. Anyway, moving on from that and over to Harada's Twitter page, now it seems that the producer got a bit of a shock when all of these stories went out with false info. Naturally, many fans took to Twitter to voice their displeasure over Roger apparently being removed from the Western releases. This is the type of thing though that Harada responded with. But what exactly was the producer talking about then in the original discussion? Well, to be honest, the facts are still somewhat hazy, and the Google Translate like English over on Harada's Twitter doesn't help matters. However, one thing that we now know is that they were not referring to the PETA, and were perhaps just talking about the types of people who complain whatever they do. But was Roger even originally meant to be in the game? Well, even that is not clear. You see, over here we have Harada saying that the team actually has no worries about this. Furthermore, here he is saying something about Roger and another character, Alex, being set as something called weapons, and so there is no problem. As for what he means by that though, well, at this point that's not really clear. I've tried to really present the full story here, but as you can see, this whole thing is still massively confusing and really hard to make any conclusions on. It seems like a pretty safe bet to say that Roger Jr. will not be in any versions of the upcoming game though, but even then, considering the producer's last comment about being set as weapons, maybe that's not true either. Then again, perhaps Harada's just trolling everybody. I mean, just look at the response here as to why Mokujin won't be in the game. And of course, there's also the infamous Lucky Chloe controversy, which turned out to be completely false as well. Whatever the case, we'll know for sure soon enough, with Tekken 7 finally coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC June 2nd.